On to stony irons. There are two types, pallasites. There's 3 to 4 times as many pallasites as there are mesosiderites. They are amongst the most beautiful meteorites, and for most meteorites, except some very special ones, they are the most expensive to purchase. The piece I'm showing you here is a pallasite from Saskatchewan. We don't know when it fell, just a little ways west of where Saskatoon is now, and near a little village, I don't think there's much of a village there now, called Springwater. And you can see the silvery iron richly embedded with fairly large olivine grains. So that's typical for a pallasite. There are several different types of pallasites that depend on some details. Then here's the same mesosiderite that we just looked at. This particular one is named Vaca Muerta. It comes from Chile. Vaca Muerta is my poor way of pronouncing the Spanish for dead cow, because it was first found near a dead cow. Well, mesosiderites, although they are stony iron meteorites because they contain this mixture of iron and stone, they're also impact breccias with fragments of iron mixed with fragments of achondrite. Never mixed with chondrite fragments. Not yet anyway. May happen sometime we find one with chondrite fragments, but not yet. Pallasites. Well, if you find a pallasite out in the field, it might look something like this if the fusion crust has been eroded away. If you take a brush to it and kind of clean up, get rid of the rust, it might look something like this. If you cut a slice of it and polish it, well, let's look at this one. This is a Chinese piece here, the Fukang meteorite, a very nice, large, whole armful in all dimensions for this particular piece. There's several pieces of it, and it's richly embedded with olivine. This slice is about 3 millimeters, just 3 millimeters thick, and this guy who owns it is holding it up to the sun so that you can see through it. The piece closest to my head shows the olivine to be quite dark, so it's the iron-rich olivine, and it's too thick to bother holding up to the light anyway. The piece over here is also being held up to the sun, a smaller piece, but it's only cut about 1.5 millimeters to 2 millimeters thick, and the iron is kind of glowing a nice blue color. People like to make things out of this stuff too, and it can get fairly expensive. Did I say how expensive? You can buy this piece here for about $250,000. Well, he might have sold that one already, but he cuts another slice off the big piece that he's got of it every time somebody wants to buy a slice from him. So that's pallasites. A little bit more on mesosiderites. The 4 pictures on the far right are all from the Vaca Muerta. This picture you've seen before. This is a picture of a piece of one of the pieces. There are quite hundreds of pieces of it. You see the outside surface. It's badly rusted, been in the ground a long time before anybody found it. Maybe thousands of years, that's uncertain. Then a piece, nice piece, cut open so that you can see the silvery iron and the fragments of achondrite. Some of the iron fragments are fairly large, like that piece there and the piece right at the bottom. The little cube there, black cube, is 1 centimeter to a side. And just to show that not all pieces, even of the same meteorite, look exactly the same, part of the difference in color is because of the light quality used when the photograph was taken. But nonetheless, they do vary from sort of brownish to grayish for the color of the chondrite bits. Then on the closer to me, we see 3 different mesosiderites with big chunks of iron on the, centimeter or more scale, along with lots of small fragments, all intermixed with these smaller fragments of achondrite. The one that's closest to me here has some nice centimeter size fragments of achondrite as well. Some of the iron in these mesosiderites is octahedrite, but it isn't all octahedrite, just some of it.